Team Flynn, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here today. Appreciate you. Today is Wednesday, April 8th, I want to say. Yes. Okay, I got it right. I wasn't sure what day it was. Welcome in. Thank you so much. If you're brand new here, welcome to the income stream. On this show, we answer your questions, we do website reviews, and we just have a lot of fun. We bring some entertainment into your life and also make it educational. So edutainment, I think they call it nowadays. And I go live every morning, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, and I'm here to serve you. Not only does this hold me accountable to waking up in the morning and getting stuff done and serving you first, but it also provides something regular that you can look forward to amongst the crazy that's happening out there in the world right now. And I just want to thank you once again for being here. We got a lot of great conversations happening. I was also up late a little bit last night. For those of you who've been here before, I've been working pretty hard trying to fine tune the stream. I've gotten involved with a tool called Streamlabs to do some fun things. If we happen to see a super chat today, I think it should fire off something brand new that will sort of reward and spotlight that person. Again, not required. You're not required to pay anything to be here. I'm also sort of fine tuning a theme song for the income stream. This show, which was just kind of set up ad hoc, sort of impromptu, is now taking shape and becoming something that I really, really enjoy. And it sounds like many of you enjoy it too. So welcome in today. Today being Wednesday, I also wanted to crowdsource from you a number of different things that we can do to make this even better. And I had a great idea from one of my mentors. His name is James Schramko. And he said that maybe you could make it more interesting by having every day be sort of a theme. You know, still have time for Q&A and things like that, but it would actually benefit more if you planned ahead of time what was going to be discussed on the show, or at least a theme. And then it would also help for the replays as well. That way we could even cluster all the themed ones together in case somebody really wanted to deep dive into that versus sort of coming in here and seeing things randomly every single time. Although, again, I'm here to answer your questions and I'm definitely here to help you out. But I think doing something like website review Wednesdays, for example, or free-for-all Fridays. Maybe Friday is a free-for-all sort of situation. But we got a super chat from Samson, and I'm looking to see if it fires off what I'm hoping it will fire off. Let's see. Let's give it a moment. And I don't see it coming through yet. Maybe it takes some time to fire off. I'm not quite sure. Hey, there it is. Do you see that right there? Actually, it's right here. April donated $20. Thank you, April. You're amazing. Thank you so much for that. And then I do see another one that came in that perhaps got missed. Karma Cash Flow. There we go. That came in. Just Samson. Boom. See that? Pretty cool, right? So how do we do this? We did this through Streamlabs, which sort of connects to Ecamm Live here. And it was something that literally took about 4 hours to figure out. Grandma Goodies, welcome. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Hopefully you can all see that. I'm not even quite sure that actually shows up for you, but it does show up for me. Maybe it's a signal for me, but hopefully it's a signal for you too. If you're here, welcome in. Karma Cash Flow, you're amazing. Thank you for the super chats, everybody. Again, not required. Thank you for helping me test that. I'm here to serve you. Any money generated through these donations, however, do get pushed through to people who are in desperate need of it right now at the San Diego Food Bank. Especially some of the homeless who aren't able to quarantine themselves as much as they hopefully are able to. But anyway, thank you again for that. That was really cool. So another thing that I'm also working on is a logo. And another thing that I'm working on is just, again, different camera angles, trying to fine tune this, make it more professional. You know, there's a lot of late night show hosts who are broadcasting from home, and even people like Ellen, people who we often see in these highly produced realms on TV, they're at home now. And I think this is an opportunity for those of us who are creators to almost play in an even playing field now and hopefully step up. And that's what I'm trying to do. I want this to be so good that people who normally watch those shows come over here. I'm doing whatever I can to grow this audience. And even if it's honestly just one or two people here, I'm still going to do it anyway. But I would love to see thousands of people here one day. That would be really amazing. And before we get into the website reviews, so we'll do website review Wednesday. Corey, thanks for the donation, my friend. Appreciate you so much. For for those of you who are here, I would love to get some ideas. Just like blurt them out there. I might not be able to see them right now, but I'm going to watch the replay, and I do get access to the script later on. Martin, thank you so much for the super chat. You're awesome. If you had ideas for, and they don't have to be alliteration. It doesn't have to be like website review Wednesdays, but just tell me themes if you do have an alliteration on a day of the week that we could do. That would be great to have, you come in on Monday and it's, I don't know, Motivation Monday or Mindset Monday. That maybe is a good one. Tactics Tuesday, website review Wednesday, throwback Thursday. I don't know. We can go back to maybe throwback Thursday might be kind of cool. Going back into history and seeing just like how ugly the Smart Passive Income website used to be. By the way, let's save that for tomorrow. If we reach our goal tomorrow, I'll do a throwback on some of the themes that SPI, Smart Passive Income, once held to hopefully inspire you and show you that, I guess we all do start from somewhere. But today I want to do some website reviews. I want to do them sort of essentially the entire time. Actually, no, why don't we make that today's goal? So yeah, today's goal will be that. Today's goal will be if we get to, again, 200 likes here. Do I have the goal set up here? I don't have the goal set up here. TJ, thank you so much. Good morning to you. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. We'll make that the goal for today. If we get to 200 likes, I don't have the thing on the screen for that. Actually, I could probably set this up on the fly, can't I? Let's see. Goal 200 likes. Whoa, okay. I was going to add a little bit more. Hold on. Goal 200 likes. And the and the prize will be history lesson. Let's just call it that. And let's make this a little bit smaller. Okay, and we'll pop that up here. Actually, we'll put it down here. Wow, you guys are just going bonkers with the super chats today, aren't you? Aren't you? Don't you know? All right, cool. Happy birthday, Karma. Welcome in. Dan in the house. He's the one who's helping me repurpose this stuff. WP Eagle with the super chat. Thank you. Amazing. Whoa, I almost spit out my coffee. Did somebody offer a $50 super chat? Who is nuts? My gosh. Margarita, Texas in the house. Welcome in. By the way, I've also changed the way the chat looks too. Margarita, Texas with the $50 super chat. Just thank you so much. One more wow for you. Okay, we might be hearing that quite often. I might need to change that with so many super chats. But I wouldn't imagine that it's going to be this bonkers today. I just mentioned that up front because I'm testing this new theme and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, we're going to do a goal of 200 likes today for the history lesson. And that means I'm going to take you back into some of the themes that SPI once had and show you just how incredibly not good they were. But we'll preface this by doing some website reviews for you. And that's what we're going to make today all about. So when you have the opportunity, let's make sure to drop in your link in a creative way so that we can actually go and review them. So what I mean by creative is, well, YouTube doesn't allow you to just drop in your URL. I'm not going to see it. If you can put it in a way that actually gets through to me, maybe by putting the dot, writing out the word dot when it's .com, for example, with parentheses around it or what have you, or whatever you want to say, just try to get through to me. I'm going to do website reviews the entire time here till the top of the hour, and we're going to have a ton of fun doing that. That t-shirt, though, I just noticed. Later, hater. Thank you so much for noticing that, Chris. Yeah, this is cool. I made the image a little bit bigger, changed the font a little bit. Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. All right, let's take this off. Fantastic. Thank you, Deb, for the hippo character's head pops out of water surrounded by his hippo squad. I think that was a sticker, right? Which is why it's so descriptive, which is really amazing. Cool. So yeah, try to get your website through to me. Margarita, Texas, I'd be happy to do one for you. I mean, you just spent $50 on this, which is really amazing. Actually, I want to do a website review for you anyway, because you dropped a lot of money there for whatever reason. Appreciate you for that. That's going to help a load of people. Margarita, Texas. Hope you're all safe and doing well. MargaritaTexas.com. Okay, We're going to start, and the way that these are run, if you haven't been in these before, is we just do a quick little 3-minute review based on just what I see here. And so I'm going to go into this, and then I do see some websites popping in as well that I'm going to get to. And again, it's kind of completely at random, so I'm just going to select people. We're going to go all the way through, and I'm going to put up the 3-minute timer just like that. You'll see it in the upper right-hand corner, and we're just going to have some fun. And once again, just thank you so much for being here. Team Flynn, you're amazing. As always, Team Flynn for the win. Doug, thank you so much for the super chat. That's amazing. All right, let's get into this. We're going to go to the computer. And hopefully you should see Margarita, Texas. This is award-winning margarita mix. So let's just start the timer and we'll go at it. Okay, so really quick, really love the theme. Showing off the product. If you have a product, it's the first thing you want to happen, right? You show the product off, and that's that. It looks beautiful. You have a little bit of lime in there, some salt too, with some of your quote-unquote accessories to go along with your stuff, which is great. I love the logo. I think it's just very clear. The green. I like the parallaxing effect here too. But okay, first of all, you have social proof here, which is nice. Award-winning margarita mix. The one thing that comes to mind is, well, a lot of people say their stuff's award-winning, right? But it could be just like some award that they made up themselves. Might there be some sort of insignia, much like how a lot of businesses put like the Better Business Bureau sort of insignia to make people feel a little bit more comfortable? If you had some information about how it's award-winning, I think that would go a very long way. Also, this call to action here, which is make better margaritas, this is the number one thing you want people to do, right? So it kind of blends into the background a little bit, but I like how it's just very clear. Hey, you're here, you want to make better margaritas, awesome. The other thing that I would say is, well, do you know a little bit more about your target audience and exactly why they want better margaritas? Do they want better taste? Do they want to be the life of the party? Do they want to host better parties? It might be interesting to start testing. One thing that you could potentially do at this point, I mean, just first impressions, it looks really great, is you could use a tool called Write Message. Write Message allows you to change a little bit of the copy on the homepage. You don't need to create different variations of the entire homepage. What Write Message can do is it can actually change the copy. So it might say, for example, if you know, based on information that you know about people on your email list, for example, that they host a lot of parties, when they come to the website, it might say instead award-winning margarita mix. It might say instead host better parties for you and your friends. And that way, it actually is even more tailored, more personalized. This is sort of a second level tier of email marketing / online personalization tool that I would highly recommend. Brennan Dunn, he was on the podcast before, from Write Message. It's just an amazing way to begin to sort of personalize the stuff. I see testimonials here on the right-hand side, which are okay. I think that we all need to, not just you, but we all need to focus a little bit more on having better testimonials. These are things that can prove that our stuff is actually legit. These, quote unquote, look very generic. I do like that you have the name and the location there, but if you absolutely had the chance to include a picture, much like when I pop up a broadcast here, if you could put a picture up of who it is that you are serving, that would work really, really well. That would be really great. Also, I see you have like a podcast, which is really fantastic. You're using the podcast player, which is great. Some of your featured margarita recipes. Do you have featured products? I would imagine that you have a lot of different things here. Let's go to the shop really quick. And again, these testimonials I think could be made a lot more powerful. This margarita mix is wonderful. See, that's kind of like anybody could say that about anything, right? But what is it about this that makes it unique? Try to pull out those in your testimonials. And to finish up here, I just want to make sure that we are displaying the products. So, okay, you have for sale. Do you have something that's like the most popular or best value, best deal? People often want to see the featured item, the thing that most other people are buying too. So I think that this being your sales page could use a nice doctoring up. I like this too, the sort of negative side. Stop making terrible margaritas. Which is great. I'm not saying for anybody watching this that, this isn't about drinking alcohol on this channel, but this isn't alcohol. This is the mix. So, got you there. But anyway, you can make a virgin margarita too, by the way. But anyway, well done. Thank you so much for that. Hopefully those tips will help you and those of you watching as well to see what you can do to incrementally improve. And that's really what this is all about. This is about incremental improvements. And again, by the way, we have a goal we have a light goal of 200. If we get to 200, I'm going to take you to the past and show you some of the early versions of Smart Passive Income and what that website looked like and the big mistakes that I was making there. Quite embarrassing, actually. So make sure you check that out. But yeah, these website reviews. Oh man, I forgot to do something. I'm gonna set up this segment, the website review segment, whether we do it here on Wednesdays or on the weekends. Definitely gonna be doing it on the weekends too. But I was gonna do a little intro to this, and let me just pop up another website here that we could get to very shortly here. Okay, I'm gonna do Vicky O'Neill next. VickyO'Neill.com. Cool. So we'll get to that in just a minute, but here's what I was gonna do setting up this segment. I think this is another thing that could make the show a little bit better, having specific segments that are broken up a little bit. It's gonna be something that I think people could look forward to. It breaks up the pattern interrupts, which is really great. And so this is what I was gonna do before doing website reviews. Hold on, let me just make sure I have everything ready. Here's what I was gonna do. I was gonna play this music. Anyway, sorry. Maybe it's not as cool as I thought it was. Anyway, let's get into VickyO'Neill.com. All right, let's go to the website, and then let's go over here. 3 minutes. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All right, really great. I love when people put their pictures up, especially when you want people to hire you, right? Because you want people to know who it is that they're going to speak to. So I love this picture. Not a fan of the quality of the picture, however. I actually really like the layout of it. We don't see this very often, where it just kind of framing of you sort of is really nice around the text. I think that's okay, but the image quality is not as good as I would hope it would be. It's a little bit blurry, and also the Photoshop work here, you can see on the edges here, it's a little bit tacky. I'm just going to be upfront with you, and I think that would potentially detract from those who might want to work with you, right? So let's clean that up a little bit if you can, but I like how you're sort of leaning. If there was something you were leaning on that maybe faded out a little bit, that wouldn't look so awkward because you look like anti-gravity there. But honestly, I love the shape of the picture, and you look great. I think that's going to help you a lot once that's fixed. So 30-minute remote strategy sessions. This is essentially what you want to do, or these book me for a day. I love how, thank you for the super chat, by the way. I'll give you a shout out in just a moment. But marketing expertise you need at a cost you can afford. Self-managed expertise, helpful, affordable. So there's a lot of information here. You're essentially teaching up front. What I worry about having fractional CMO so big up top there is that I don't know what that means. And I see that you sort of define it down here. Fractional CMO handles all of your marketing. So fractional CMO, I've never heard of that before, to be honest. And this is just direct feedback to you, Vicky. What I imagine this is more well known as is an online business manager, for example, or a business manager, or so that's an OBM, or an integrator. An integrator. You might say, fractional CMO, integrator, online business manager, here for all your needs to help you what? So marketing expertise, sure. Are you just teaching me, or are you actually helping me with all the things from managing partnerships, relationships, and all the things in between? I think that's really important to showcase up front, because I think if people aren't connecting with the word fractional CMO, which is so huge up here, they're going to leave. They're not sure. Oh, fractional CMO. I don't know what that is. I'm probably too dumb to even know how to work with this, or I'm going to go back to somebody else. You need to speak the same language that your target audience can respond to. I like how you highlight, however, the benefits. That's really smart, and I'm okay with how you do this. So schedule call, great. This is a great picture. Hi, I'm Vicky. So I love how now you're sharing a little bit about yourself. You started with the language. You want to start with the language that your target audience can resonate with. You want to share what it is that you can do to help, and you lay that out over here, and then you talk about yourself, and that's really great. The black, however, is really interesting. The black with white text, I worry about that because it is hard on the eyes. It's not terrible because it's just smaller boxes here, but I think that, like just in this box alone, I'm seeing like it's hard to read because it's a little bit bigger. No risk, money back guarantee, 7 ways we can work together. Schedule a call. I think there's so much stuff here. I think I think you would benefit more by just focusing on, okay, how can I get people so excited about coming with me on this call to discover what it is that they need help with? That's the number one thing. Book me for a day, schedule a call. Let's see what happens there. Fill out the form, we'll chat. You'll get goal reaching awesomeness. Let's get your project moving. So here it is. This is the benefit. Like, let's get your project moving. Let me help you manage it. We'll chat to see if it's a good fit or not. No commitment. Project budget, schedule call. Great. If there was some expectation on how soon, okay, good. Here we go. 24 business hours. I would highlight that for sure, because people sometimes they put these things in the ether and they have no idea when they're going to come back. So yeah, overall, not bad at all. I think just a few of those things on the homepage with connecting to the audience, talking about what that means, fractional, or changing that language overall, and then finally, because your customers might know, but people who you are targeting might not. And then finally, just really honing in on, well, number one, also that image on the homepage, but also honing in on, okay, well, when we get people to schedule a call, how can we make it easier for them? This is your sales page. This is your sales page right now. So let's, add a little bit more. Let's add some testimonials on this page. Let's make it something that's sort of a no-brainer for people too. By the way, Diana, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you for that. That is amazing. Well done. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. All right. So number one, are these super chats going to stay up in the corner of the screen? Did that stay there the whole time? Yeah, I wasn't sure. Maybe, yeah, I haven't seen what it was like when I went off and went to the computer view like that. I wasn't sure if the super chats were staying around or not. Okay. Let's keep going. All right, here's a question really quick from Fabiano. Pat, today I'm hoping you can answer one question for me. I recorded all the episodes of the podcast, but they all seem empty. 3 to 5 seconds of silence, pauses. It sounds, well, empty. Number one, Fabiano, I would definitely recommend just understanding that it's not going to be perfect right out of the gate. That's number one. I recorded my first episode 3 times, and it's just because I was just not happy with it. And there were awkward pauses, there were awkward moments, and I re-recorded it 3 times because, honestly, I could have recorded it 100 times and it wouldn't have been to my liking. So I'm very glad that I finally said, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to publish it and it's going to work. And eventually just it began to work. But you first have to be a disaster before you become the master. So if there's 3 to 5 seconds of silence, I think that's better than just going, like, the sort of filler words that, so you're taking it better than that. But I think over time, you're because you're conscious of this, you're going to notice that it's going to begin to reduce over time. So I would just say go with it. Just go with it. It's what it is. If you really wanted to, you could slice those extra long silences out. You could probably find them easy on your editor and just remove them to make things a little bit tighter. And then over time, just try to reduce that as much as possible. All right. I'm learning on the fly. Yes, that is indeed true, Michael. Very true. All right. Let's see. I got a bunch of messages that were retracted, I see, but this one got through. n3architecture.com. That one came through okay. And I can't take credit for that disaster is the master thing because that was John Lee Dumas who actually said that first. All right, I'm just reading some of the messages here to see if there was anything. What's up, Rob? Great to see you in. Thank you so much. Okay, I think we're all good. All right, let's get into N3 architecture. So this is the website that I'm going to be reviewing right now. Let's move this over and make this a little bit bigger. Actually, better snap tool. Can I make this bigger? There we go. Okay, here we go. N3 architecture, high performance, energy efficient architecture and residential design. Okay, very clear. This is a very traditional looking architecture website, by the way, very beautiful looking, very just sort of stylized. But what I don't like about this is just there's a ton of real estate that we could be potentially using for something else. Might there be some testimonials here, or even just one that sort of just really speaks to your values? Maybe there is some stuff about your values, right? Like N3 architecture. Sure, you offer high performance, energy efficient architecture and residential design, but what's your mission? What's your values? Much like how Tesla, right, is trying to excel the world to more environmentally friendly. Gosh, what is their mission? I can't even remember it. I hear it 100 times a day because I watch all these Tesla videos and I'm forgetting right now off the top of my head, so I apologize. Accelerating the world's to efficiency and oh my gosh, my bad. Anyway, let's keep going here. I really like the sort of model design that I see behind here. That's great. Start here, great. Love start here's. That's one of my favorite things. See, this could be pulled up. If it was start here, I would be more enticed to go down and scroll. Homeowners, visit the Home Design Academy page for resources, strategies, products available for a successful residential project. There's nothing on the screen here, so that's sort of worrisome. About our company, great. So beautiful looking website, but a lot of big areas that could potentially be used for something else. Here are your services, architecture, resource for homeowners, high performance design, consulting, owner's representation, planning and visioning. I would also want to know, this is beautiful, by the way. Wow, what a playhouse. That you designed that? That's amazing. So as you know, I was a former architect as well. This is really beautiful. But a lot of the website here is sort of wasted space. So I would definitely recommend trying to figure out how we can move things up a little bit. The other thing is, well, what's the number one thing you would want people to do when they get here? I don't see where you want people to go. I see this is more like a business card or a catalog versus, okay, let's say somebody's interested. Maybe there's a button up here that says, call us now for a consultation, or send us a message to see how we could work together, or hey, we'd love to help you on your next project and have it be something you could be proud of. What does N3 mean? I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's your name, for example. But I think this is Chris's website. N3, love that logo. I think there's just some wasted space here that could be utilized. Let's look at your portfolio. In the architecture world, your portfolio is going to be extremely important, obviously. So I love these images here. Might there be an opportunity to include some sort of description about each so that a person can go, oh, that's sort of just like our project, or those are the same design challenges or constraints that we had. Maybe that project I should look into. Webster Lake House. This looks, see, it always goes back up here though. Like, I think that this is another, you should go through your website as if you were somebody who is brand new, right? We should all do this. I've benefited from this as well, because you might discover things like this that you land on, you're like, why? Well, why does it do that? And we could figure out how to make that a little bit better. Oh, here's some really nice pictures. I'm wondering if there's any description. Was there any sort of design challenge? What were the client needs? What were the constraints? Like, this can support somebody who may be thinking of working with you and wanting to go, well, how do I know that they do something that is relevant to the project that I have? And then they can find a project, or you can actually just at least forward them there, and it can do a lot more justice for you. So that's what I would recommend. Somebody was asking a question earlier about an alternative to Zoom for conducting interviews and things like that online. Squadcast. Squad, like team, cast, like fishing. So Squadcast is a great tool that you can use. Also, by the way, we have a like goal today that we are severely behind. We are, actually, no, we're not that far behind. We're pretty close to halfway, or we're actually over halfway. So we're at 109 at the time I'm seeing this right now. But 200 is where we want to get to, and I'll give you a little bit of a website review based on some earlier versions of Smart Passive Income that you can check out and see, which were not good at all. This is a great tip from Michael here. Have your friends visit your website while you're there and watch their behavior on your site. It is eye-opening. It's very scary, actually. It's something that we almost sort of avoid doing because we don't want that feedback, even though we all know that feedback is going to be incredibly valuable. All right. Chris says, I just got started working on the website last week. Still in progress. These tips are helpful. Didn't get to the Home Design Academy page though. Oh well, thanks, Pat. Cool, no worries. Home Design Academy page. Is that another page here? Okay, let's just go into that really quick. So again, it goes to the sort of welcome mat, but it's not needed. Home Design Academy. So this is the podcast resources. There should be a link. Let's go to the podcast actually. Okay, I want to see a link to follow on the most popular podcast platforms there. Maybe some episodes that I can listen to get a feel for it. This is a great place to get more listeners. It's on your website. Resources, house plans. Yeah, so if you've just started the website, this is actually really good because we're off to a great start. Now, let's go through the website and find out, okay, what are the most important items? How can we get people there? What might make people leave? All those sorts of things that we can go from there. So well done, everybody. Thankful for you, Chris, for being on the chopping block there. All right, let's do another one, if I could find one. Let's see, thehomeschoolsearch.com, I think I saw. Thehomeschoolsearch.com. All right, let me make sure this is the right one. I think this was correct. I totally lost my place here. All right. 1 minute. Just making sure that I get to the right website. Okay. I think this is one that came up. About us. Cool, Sarah. Yes, I think I'm in the right spot. Welcome, Sarah. Thanks for being here. Homeschool stuff. Yeah, this is very popular right now. Obviously, people are homeschooling for the first time, which is really great. So let's get into it. Thehomeschoolsearch.com. I really like what I'm seeing here right away. Suddenly we're homeschooling, or suddenly homeschooling, we're here to help. So language that can definitely resonate with people right now in this moment, obviously. Thehomeschoolsearch.com, connecting curriculum and community. Find your perfect curriculum from our curated list, get a free account, and save your own lists. So connecting curriculum and community, I like what I'm seeing here. We can even move things up a little bit. There's a little bit of white space here, or the opportunity for you to move this text, find your perfect curriculum, create a free account, and move that up perhaps on top of this image here, because we want people to see what you want them to do first. I don't have any knowledge of where you want me to go until I scroll down just a little bit and I go, click here to join. Might there be a better sort of set of languages, or excuse me, might there be a better way that you could say, click here to join? Maybe get your curriculum now, or create your free account here. Click here to join sounds a little bit more friction than, you giving something. So it's like, instead of join us, it's like, here, this is where you get the thing for free. Search for grades, subject matter, advice and ideas. Cool. Introduction. Cool. I like what I'm seeing so far. Let's go to the About Us page. About pages are really, really important. I love how we see a picture of you, Sarah. That's fantastic. I'm Sarah. 20 years ago, I was a homeschooled student. So you have personal experience on the receiving end of that. Now I'm homeschooling mom of 3, and I'm so excited. I love how you started with that. We can even make that more prominent. Hi, I'm Sarah. I was homeschooled as a kid, and now I homeschool my kids too. That in bold. I'm connected with you more right away versus just, I'm Sarah, right? So I think just having this be combined with this to be the first thing people read to connect, yes, that's perfect. So I love what you have here. We can shape that up a little bit more to be a little bit more bolder. Whatever your dreams are for home education, chances are good. There's curriculum out there somewhere will assist you in making those dreams a reality. So I love that you have some, wow, this is a lot of information here. You could benefit by breaking this up in the middle by having some bigger, bold, perhaps even areas like this, sort of to break up the different sections a little bit. It's seemingly like an essay right now, and it's hard on the eyes. So the more that you can break it down with some H3 headers, the easier it's going to be to make my way through. I might find some stuff that I'm not necessarily interested in reading, but then scroll down to find a thing that I am interested in reading. The biggest thing is, how can this help me, right? So I see that I'm connected with you now, which is great. The difficulty is finding in that curriculum, parentheses, this is why the homeschoolsearch.com exists, to help you. And lastly, what are the objections? What are the struggles? What are the pains? Highlight those, because the more that you can help me understand what I'm going through, or even help me define it even better, the more I'm going to trust you. So I think that would work really, really well here, but I like what I'm seeing here. And lastly, on the About page, you could benefit by having a person click in the middle to join. Perhaps they've read all they needed to read, and then they might get a little bit tired of reading before coming down here and logging in or registering. Again, I think a button that speaks to what you had here on the homepage, which would be more something like, click here to get your thing, whatever it is, versus log in or register. This seems a little bit far removed from where a person might be at this point after reading the About page. And then finally, I want to check out, I love that you have a resource page, homeschool gear, which is fantastic. Get 10% off. I think it's okay that when I go to a gear page, you have a pop-up giving me something like a coupon. I love that a lot. I was expecting some like physical products to buy to help me homeschool, although I think merch is okay. Apparel, yeah, so this is just apparel, and this takes me off of the webpage. Yes, so now the question is, how do I get back? I think this is what, Teespring? Yes, so I would have that open a new page so people aren't leaving your other page. And then finally, let's go into create an education plan. This is hopefully going to have me to sign up. Please log in and register. So this is a sales page for you, because I would imagine a lot of people would come here and go, I want to create an education plan. Okay, and then here I go, and there's nothing here. You need to sell me on doing this, because what if that's the first thing I see and I come here, it looks very barren, right? So I think that having a sort of sales page-like sequence, even just a couple paragraphs with some bold headlines to reconnect me with you and why I need to go and move forward with this, and then a button to make it clear, because I'm not even sure exactly what I need to do here. Please log in or register to use education plan features, make curriculum lists for individuals, click here to log in. So now I don't even know where to register. You're just clicking me to log in, but what if I don't have a login? So just really focus on that page and sell it. Well done, Sarah. Cool. So yeah, somebody was saying, pop-up giving you something, says Francis. Yeah, so a pop-up to go, hey, here's something for you, is great. Only when it makes sense. Before I move on, a lot of people use a pop-up in a asking manner, in a taking manner. Hey, look at me, come join my email newsletter and let me take your email address, versus, hey, you're here to get some gear? Well, here's a coupon to help you with that. I think that can work really well. But I think it's a really good idea. I would lean into what it is you're doing right now, Sarah. This is the time for you. And I would also say, see how you might be able to get in to some publications. PR is going to be a thing that I think you could use to your advantage right now to help you get more exposure. Joining some other homeschooling communities to sort of connect with them, be a guest on other people's podcasts, like that sort of thing can help you get a lot more exposure for sure. So definitely take advantage of that. Question from Karma. I'm going to do another website review, but I definitely want to answer Karma's question, because let's all say happy birthday to Karma, because it's his birthday today. So how do you record and get on Audible? What does that process look like? Okay, so I can actually take you there right now. So if you go to acx.com, this is where you turn your book into an audiobook. Now, it's a little bit hard to just take some audio and put it up there. There's a lot of requirements. There's a lot of requirements based on the sort of mastering of the file and how it sounds. You are required to say certain things like, this is Superfans by Pat Flynn, narrated by Pat Flynn, published by Flynn-Spired Productions. Chapter 1, blah. Blah, blah, blah. There's like a specific sequence of things you have to do. So the way that I've done this is I actually hired a studio. I hired a studio with an engineer, a sound engineer there, who has Audible experience to guide me through that, just so that I don't have to worry about it and I could go in and I could record. And typically in that situation, I spend a couple days in the studio, maybe 6 to 8 hours each day, to just crank out the book. I clear my schedule all for that. And what's cool is I'm in a professional studio, so I know it's going to sound great. And Colin, who's the guy who, from Studio West here, who I've worked with a few times on my books, a few of my friends have used him as well. The nice thing about having an engineer there, Karma, is that a person can read along with you and catch your mistakes. I had no idea how many mistakes I would make reading my own book, from pronunciations to skipping lines to repeating something without even knowing it. The person that is there to help you can catch those as well. So that's been really great. And then what happens is you have to have every individual chapter be a specific kind of file that then gets uploaded to ACX. And I can actually log in here and show you some of the back end. So just let me log in really quick. Okay, that did not work. Let's see. Let's see if this takes me in. That did not take me in. Okay. Well, let me try one more time. Okay. Well, my password didn't work, and I'm not going to spend the time to go over that right now. But anyway, acx.com is where you'd want to go to set that up, and there is information and some guidelines there that you could read to sort of check that out. I love Audible, though. Honestly, with each one of my books, now that the launches are sort of done and over with, I'm making more money on Audible with the audiobook than I am with both the physical book and Kindle book combined. It's just the royalties are much better. A lot more people are listening to books nowadays. Maybe it's because I have a podcast listening audience too, but if you have a book, you should turn it into an audiobook. Plus, you can get a $50 bounty from Audible should somebody sign up to Audible and get your book first. And the cool thing is, when a person signs up to Audible, what do you get? You get a free credit. So you could actually promote your book for free, essentially. You can get a free copy of my book on Audible if you sign up today and download my book first. And then you get a bounty. So not only do you get the royalty, but you also get the bounty with that too. All right, let's do another site review here. Hold on one sec, just going to message some people. All right, let's get into another website review. Scratch and Dent says K. Charlton Industries. .com. I run an invention development consulting firm here in Pittsburgh and host a podcast called The Invention Laboratory. I always like saying it laboratory though. All right, so hopefully I'm in the right spot. And this is for Scratch and Dent Life. So one more time, you run an invention development consulting firm here in Pittsburgh and host a podcast called The Invention Laboratory. Awesome. Sweet. Let's go to the website. Here it is. All right, let's do the 3-minute review. Here we go. It's a very professional looking site. I already get a sense of sort of just, professionalism here, which is great. Even in the logo, K. Charlton Industries, invention development consulting firm, specializing in product research and professional development services. Okay, so very much like a business card right now versus you haven't really spoken to me yet. You're just kind of sharing what it is that you do, which is fine. Perhaps this is Pittsburgh here in the background too for a little bit of connection to your locale, which is great. Research, development, intellectual property, marketing, and invention, education, vendor services. The mission, okay, great. So you have that there. Consulting firm dedicated to helping creators achieve their goals in product developing, inventing, and entrepreneurship. Why isn't this up front? Helping you create I love that. That's now I'm like, hey, I'm a creator or I'm an entrepreneur. This is something exactly what I'm looking for versus something that's a little bit more generic, no offense. But you have a lot of real estate here to connect me to you even faster. This is like a big theme here. But I love how you have the mission here, the podcast, which if this is the only spot the podcast is mentioned, I would worry because it blends in the comments, or excuse me, the clicks are just blending in the same color. Yes, they're bolded and underlined, but I would have missed that by just breezing over this. Hey, what's up, Karma? Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Just let me make sure that disappears. Karma Castro, let me pause the timer there really quick. Okay, so that did disappear the way it was supposed to. Let's go back. We'll do another 3 minutes here because I've just been distracted a little bit. So is the podcast up here? Can I get to the podcast elsewhere? So I guess this scrolls me down, our creative pathways. beautifully designed website. I really love how it looks. The one thing is there was a lot of like, does this speak to your target audience? Does this image here look like your target customer, or does this look like a you? These are the really important sort of images that may break or make your website, because if these don't connect with me as a creator, I don't know who your target audience is. Maybe it is more higher profile, more sort of professional CEO type people or businesses versus, you know, a creator like myself. But this would not be an environment that I would want to get into when it comes to creation. So I'm not quite sure if this is an image of you and your firm, or a stock image perhaps, but I would just worry a little bit. Maybe this is an image of the different inventions or creations. Are there any sort of, is there a portfolio here? Might I be able to see something to see what you've done for others before? Our merchandise, let's see what that is. So you open a new website, which is great. So this is merch. So, okay, it's interesting because I'm just looking at this merch here. Creator, create. These are things that would resonate with more the sort of entrepreneurial type creator versus the CEO type creator versus this website, which very much has the CEO sort of professional type of feel. These two things don't speak to each other in my eyes. Versus, what if you had a website that looked like this? Or excuse me, a website that looked more, sorry, my bad, I didn't share my screen. So I was looking for anything that was sort of a portfolio or products. And then I went to our merchandise, and this is another Teespring website with merch. But check out how this looks like. You see how it's a little bit more whimsical, a little bit more just sort of non-professional in terms of, and that's okay. I really like what I'm seeing here. Patented, that's cool. I like that one. But it's a different feel than this website here, right? And also I was saying, I want to see your podcast featured, and that I would imagine would get people to connect with you even faster, right? The podcast can be a big differentiator in, okay, who is behind this firm anyway? What are they like? If you are asking people to work with you, you want to get them to know you. And I don't see anybody's faces here on the website other than these people here. Is this who I'm working with? I'm not quite sure. And again, this speaks a little bit differently to this, right? So I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. And then finally, let's do getting started. Again, I love a getting started page. So guide, this is free. I should be able to see this right away on the homepage. Hands-on mentorship, hands-off consultation, flat fee, $100. Okay, so this isn't terrible. Most people are incredible self-starters, but need assistance along the way. This pathway allows you to collaborate with an industry professional while you work your way through the invention process. Cool. So I almost like the sort of DIY, done DIY, do it yourself. So this is do it yourself, done. So this is a very common model in terms of the what's called the ascension ladder. And you have it here. So it's almost like the free thing, which is the DIY, do it yourself, and here's something to help you. Then there's the done with you, DWY, done with you, which is the middle one here, which you have called hands-on mentorship, which I think is great. And then you have the we'll do it for you kind of thing, and that's the higher level one. So anyway, I hope this is helpful, but yeah. All right, let's do one more website review to finish off the day. Why are people watching this? Well, why are you watching this? How did you get here, Mountain? Why don't you have an avatar too, by the way? But we're here because you get inspiration every day. I help you through how to start a business. We're doing website reviews here too. And most of all, we're just here to have some fun. So welcome to the team. Thanks for being here. And I appreciate your time. We have a big community here, which is great. Let's see. Somehow I ended up back in time because we love Pat because it gives us value. Thank you so much for that. No, it's not. Oh, we have a negative Nancy in the house. It's too bad. Bruh. It's okay. Don't give him any more attention. That's kind of what he's here for. I hope you're doing well because oftentimes you come in, you're angry because something else is going on in your life. And I understand today is crazy. Things are happening in the world right now. So just, I hope you and your family are safe. Make sure you stay inside and just, I hope things get better for you. Appreciate you. Okay, let's go into another website review here, if I could find where I left off. All right. So for whatever reason, oh, okay, there we go. The ScoobyLife.com. Let's go there. Okay. Hey, Nancy, good to see you here. AV Peers in the house. All right, let's move things around. Let's do a Scooby Life. Okay, here we go. Three-minute countdown. Scooby Life, inspiring, amazing paw ventures. So again, very common theme here. Beautiful picture, beautiful image. Who is this for? How is it going to help me? Who is this for? How is it going to help me? So I love the theme. I love the logo. That looks really great. But this dog is just so darn cute. So I think a little bit of information up top about who this is for and how it can help me. That's number one. Number two, scrolling down, I love that you have blogs here, some information, getting to know you a little bit more, which is fantastic. How to help animals during quarantine, that's great. I see the different categories, which is great. I'm not quite sure what you want me to do first. Do you want me to read the blog first? In which case, we could probably pull things up a little bit to see your first blog post before I even have to scroll down. Number two, I am... and sorry if your name is Nancy and I said negative Nancy. That's just something I say. Let's see. So good blog posts here. I see that you wrote a lot more in 2019, which is totally fine. It's okay. You don't have to keep it up every day, although it's obviously better in that time. I think that the sidebar could also benefit from, if I scroll down, you have a lot up here on the top about different areas, different, celebrate your pet, grieving your pet. How can you help animals? That's great, but I lose it as soon as I scroll down. There should be a way to get there in the sidebar as well. Let's go to Scooby's blog. I would imagine that it just brings up the same. So here's another thing that happens. Sometimes if you could make sure that when you click somewhere new, that it looks like you went somewhere new. I clicked on, and I would imagine if I clicked on any of these things, it would look the same because we have the header up top, the hero image that is not changing for that particular page. If it at least changed for each individual page that was different, then I would at least know that I am clicking around, but I didn't know. So here's grieving your pet, right? So either move things up or change the images on those different pages for the hero image, just so it's not the same. Let's see, how can you help animals? And again, what I was getting at before is like, what do you want me to do first? I'm not exactly sure what your goal here is. Are you trying to build an email list? Are you trying to help, what's if there was one thing only that you could put on your website to have people do, what would it be? And I think that would be really key. So again, it switched pages, but I didn't know. How can you help animals? So this is a really neatly laid out blog post. I love that. Let's see if there's any call to action at the end of this blog post. Last but not least, find a great vet, do your research. Okay, so this seems to cater to the Orange County, Southern California, or just California area, which could provide some opportunity for you. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. I appreciate you, Diana. You're amazing. So a question that I'll answer in a moment here as we finish up. Diana, thank you for that question. Let's see. So yeah, what I was saying was, what's the primary motive? What's the main goal? What's success look like to you on this website? And this is a big question that we could all ask ourselves, because I think we just kind of get into that rhythm of doing what others are doing and trying to set up the blog and trying to set up this, trying to set up that, right, and stay consistent. But why? What's the purpose? What do you ultimately want to have people do? And I think that alone can help guide the sort of design, right? It's almost like because design is great, but we need function as well. And there needs to be sort of a nice marrying between the two, design and function of your website and what it is that you're sort of offering, but also how are you going to help people through that content and get them to a place where you can help them even further. But it sounds like that you are focused just mainly on the California area, in which case that would help me If I wasn't in California, well, then I can leave and you wouldn't have wasted my time. But if I am in California, now I'm a little bit more, wow, this is exactly for me because, hey, I'm in California too. So I like it a lot. I think that we have a lot of areas for improvement, especially when it comes to just the wayfinding and what people see and how people navigate through the website, and ultimately what you want people to do. All right, so to answer Diana's question here, for Suzanne, one-off courses versus membership. You can do both, by the way. You can do both. They can play well with each other. If you were to start out with one, I would say it would depend on what it is that your audience needs more. If they need community more and a little bit of hand-holding, well, maybe it's a membership. If there are specific things that they are having issues with that you could build one-off products for to help solve their problem, well, then take them through a one-off course and training. I've done both before. I'm currently very bullish on one-off courses because it's just a lot easier to sell, and you can get a person a result much better too, because a one-off course is packaged as a solution to a problem. You have this problem, great, here's the solution. You don't have this problem, okay, well, then you don't need this thing. So if they do have that problem, then they can hopefully understand that you have the solution, that there's proof there, that you are the person to teach them. And then they go through this course and they get a very specific result on the other end, right? And that's the thing that you were promising with an online course or a one-off product. I promise that on the other end of this, after taking action with it, you will have now this, which you didn't have before. A membership is a little bit different because it's a lot more, number one, you're getting people to pay recurring every month or annually, what have you, but there is a billing cycle. And every time a person is billed, they're gonna have to reconsider, well, why am I here and am I getting value out of it? And if it's not just a one-off solution, it's a lot harder to sort of frame that value. Not impossible, and obviously a lot of times people come for the content and they stay for the community, but they can definitely work together too. I would highly recommend listening to an episode of the Smart Passive Income podcast. If you go to smartpassiveincome.com, actually really quick, if you go to this website here, which is smartpassiveincome.com/toolkit, that'll take you to this page, which is an online business toolkit with stuff to help you in this moment of crisis as a business owner or a soon-to-be business owner. Free books, free courses. We've given away over $1.2 million worth of this course, so you can check that out there. And what I was going to recommend is go to the search, type in Stu McLaren, and you'll find a podcast episode. Actually, Stu, let's see. Let's try membership websites. There we need to go. Oh, I spelled it incorrectly. SPI 392. This will take you to a very good conversation with Stu McLaren, who's the king of membership websites. He has a membership platform called Tribes, and he helps, he's helped thousands of people start memberships, and I would highly recommend this episode. And he talks about how they can work together, right? You can have a membership where maybe your members get a discount to the courses, or people who get into courses can get a discount to the membership, how they work together. There's a back-end offer, there's a front-end offer for a membership, and a lot of other things too. So there's definitely a lot of pros and cons to each. I would start with one though, not both, and the one that's just the most valuable to your audience is where I would begin for sure. Cool. Awesome. Hey, we got 2 minutes left, so we are just going to, oh, and by the way, Scooby Life said they're going to build, let me pop that back up, building a store currently and will donate the proceeds as well, which is amazing. And Karma, yes, Tribes is awesome for sure. That's going to be opening up later in the month. Thank you, Scooby Life, and for everybody who's here for the chopping block, if you will. Very much appreciate your time and your vulnerability to allow me to help you to also help and serve other people too. So keep up the great work, everybody. I think that finishes it up for today. We have 1 minute left. So in the meantime, just keep your head up. We got a lot of stuff happening in the world right now. This is a tough week, especially here in the US. Definitely numbers that we've never seen before. This is just absolutely unprecedented. But again, to remind you, this is also an opportunity for many people. What does this now make possible with the time that you have, or being holed up at home, or even more time with the family and your relationships? What does this make possible? There is good in this, and there's opportunity, and we can come out better on the other side. As a reminder, I was laid off in 2008, like many people are being laid off right now and furloughed as well. And it wasn't until I shifted the story in my mind to, why did this happen to me? How come me? I'm so unlucky. Everything's going downhill. and I switched that story to, wow, now I don't have to do that anymore. I could focus on something new. What opportunities might there be out there? Who else has done this before me that I can learn from? And hopefully I'm stepping up for you as your mentor in this sort of situation as well. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here, Team Flynn. You were amazing, as always. Team Flynn for the win. We did not hit our light goal today, which is fantastic. I mean, not fantastic, but that's okay. We've had, this was just an interesting experiment to go sort of full website review. And actually, I'm going to make that process a little bit easier. I'll probably have a type form or something online that we can just sort of submit to so that I can make sure I get those, and we'll make it even better in the future. So I'm always improving. If you have any ideas on ways that we can improve this, let me know. I'm going to go back in the chat earlier when I asked you for different themes for different types of days that we can do. And yeah, just check it out. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So, hey, as always, keep rocking it, and Team Flynn for the win. Peace.